Welcome, everybody, to Respawn Please podcast, where two dumb dudes come together and talk all things video games. I was about to say welcome to the stream, which is what I do on my personal stream. God, I just bit my lip. It hurts. I'm your host, Jesus, and I'm messing things up right off the bat. And with me, as always, is Ell. Ell, how are you doing? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk about these games and these showcases. And just be happy to be on the podcast.
Me too. I feel, it feels like we haven't talked in forever, but we talked on Sunday. But it just this week felt long. I don't know what about this week felt long, but it did.
It probably what it was is we didn't do the Wednesday stream. That's probably what it felt like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we took the day off from that. But I think that's because I realized that too. I was like, man, it feels like we haven't been on the podcast forever. But we technically skipped last week because of the showcases. Yep. And then so that's probably also what added to it, where you're kind of like, whoa, we haven't done the podcast in a long time.
Oh, yeah. And I'm glad you brought up the showcases, because if anybody wants to go watch our live reaction to the showcase, you can go find our live reactions on our YouTube channel. What's our YouTube channel? Go ahead and give that breakdown real quick.
It's our YouTube channel is YouTube Respawn Please podcast. Just type that in the search bar. We'll be like the first one to pop up. And on there, we have, gameplays, we have podcast episodes, but the reactions to the PlayStation Showcase, Summer Games Fest Showcase, and the Xbox Bethesda Starfield Direct Showcase are on there as well. Us just reacting if you want to watch those.
Yep, and we also have a post breakdown of not really a post breakdown, a post breakdown of our thoughts, of our initial thoughts. And boy, I was not happy with SFG, or SGF, sorry.
SGF.
Yeah, no, I was not happy with PlayStation either. Oddly enough, Xbox was the only one I was happy about. Am I an Xbox fanboy? Maybe.
Whoa.
But anyways, I hope everybody's been having a wonderful week so far and enjoyed all the crazy showcases, because there was a lot this week. There was a lot of showcases because it wasn't just Summer Games Fest. It wasn't just Xbox or PlayStation. Ubisoft had one. Devolver Digital had theirs. Capcom had theirs. There was a whole bunch. There was also like the indie. I want to say it was the indie one last week after Summer Games Fest. There was the Future Game Fest as well. That was on Saturday or Sunday. And then there was also the PC showcase as well. So there was a lot of showcases, and we're going to talk about at least three of them. We're only talking about three of them later. But anyways, before we get it all to the showcases, what you been playing this week, Ell?
So this week has actually been a very interesting week. So of course I played a little bit of Overwatch just because the new season started.
You suck.
So I played a little bit of that because the new season started. Been working through It Takes Two with me and my partner. We've been having a blast with it. But we've taken a break from it. But we're almost done with it. I think we're towards the end of the game, having a blast with that. Of course, randomly playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City Remastered Edition. And so I've been playing that. And then lastly, the game that I've actually been playing a lot, funny enough, is Resident Evil 4. Not the remake, but the original on the Switch.
Nice. How's that for you? How does it play on the Switch?
It plays normal. Like, I actually enjoy it. What's funny is the game, it makes me think of kind of like an old school, like Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger type of movie, where the game itself doesn't feel like it's meant to be taken serious. It's just kind of like, some action happens here every now and then, like some random, somewhat comedic lines happen. And so it's pretty funny. And like, I'm almost done with it, I think. But I've been enjoying it.
Nice. I haven't played the old one in forever. I played the old one, I want to say like 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. And yeah, it's the only one I've ever completed. So I've never completed a Resident Evil game besides that one. Well, I guess I completed two, only two the remake. But I also I got to the end and I couldn't defeat the final dude in two. And I just kept dying over and over again. And I was like, you know what? I made it far enough. I know what happens after this. I don't give a shit. So I just stopped playing.
That's so
Maybe
funny.
I should go back and try to beat him. I don't know. But I have Resident Evil Village. I have I have Resident Evil the one before it as well, and then I have the Resident Evil 4 remake. And I haven't played those at all. I have them though.
That's so funny.
I fully planned on playing them, and then I just got distracted. I should go back and play Resident Evil 4 though, the remake.
Oh yeah,
it's one of the bangers that came out this year because 2023 is one of the best years of gaming.
Oh yes, definitely agree.
Quick question: how are you feeling about It Takes Two? Still, are you still high on it?
Oh yeah, man, that game's so fun. The reason why I enjoy it so much also could be potentially because I'm playing with my partner, and like anytime that I can play a game with her or she enjoys a game that I'm playing, it just makes it that much more fun for me. Oh, yeah. Just because she's kind of getting engulfed in the world too. It's funny to watch her play just because she used to be a gamer, but not a serious one, kind of like a Stardew Valley type of gamer. And
I mean, that is a serious gamer. Do you know the commitment that Stardew Valley takes?
It does take a lot of commitment.
It's a commitment.
And so she's into those types of games. And so when we started this one, like her reflexes to kind of do like quick time events or jump at the right time weren't always on time. And so it's funny watching her and like jump over things and trying to dash. And she's like, she's just like panicking at certain moments. And it's so funny. She'll be like, there's a boss going on. And she'll be like, all right, just tell me what to do. Cause I know I'm probably going to die a lot, so I just need you to tell me what to do or where to be. And I'm like, okay, I gotcha. And so I direct her and like tell her what to do.
Nice. I do have one more question about It Takes Two, and because I this was a topic I saw come up when the game released. Does the book dude? He's a book, right? The little
he's a book. Yeah.
Do you find him offensive? Because this was a conversation when the game came out that he was offensive.
I could definitely see. I personally don't. I kind of just laugh at him. He does not that offensive to me, but I could definitely see why people would probably find him offensive just because he's playing kind of like a stereotype. Yeah. And like whoever voice acted him definitely went for that voice of like what is a stereotypical Latin lover sound like? Yeah. And so I just found it funny, and it wasn't like in super bad taste to me, but I just was like, this is hilarious. I see what they're doing. So
yeah, I just remember the dialogue being there, like, the game's great, but this book dude's offensive. So,
I found it to be funny at times, but it's super funny.
Yeah, I haven't played it at all. I've watched streamers and stuff play it, but I don't have anybody to play it with. So I'm alone. I can just. You think my Bidoof can play with me? With his little Pokemon card. Bidoof. Anyways, I've been playing a couple games myself, and then I have a dumb idea that I'm going to talk about on stream. Here. And it'll make sense. It's a dumb idea, but I want to do it, and it's because I was playing a very particular game the other day. But I've been playing Diablo, of course. I'm obsessed with Diablo. Most likely Diablo, unless Starfield blows me out of the water, and like that's my life, my identity will be Starfield. Unless that happens, I think Diablo 4 is going to probably be my game of the year. Just loving it. I love it. So much fun. It's just a good game to just kind of turn your brain off and just kill hordes of demons, And there's a deep like system to it and everything, like leveling system, like the Paragon points and everything. It's like just a massive grid thing of options to enhance your character when you get to the Paragon. I still have to complete the game. Funnily enough, like I got to level 50. So level 50 is when Paragon points becomes a thing. And, the expectation is that you complete the campaign before you level 50. I did not do that. I finished Act 1 at level 50 because I was doing everything.
Wow.
I was doing all the dungeons. I was hunting down all the altars, altars of Lilith, which altars of Lilith give you like a permanent stat boost. And so I was just hunting down everything that I could. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I should probably complete that campaign because I'm level 50. Because when I hit level 50, I was like, I'm not making enough XP anymore. Because
oh my gosh,
you have to. Yeah. So like the idea is that you increase the difficulty, but I can't increase the difficulty until I complete the game. So like right now I'm locked to World Tier 2, which is veteran difficulty. And then I can't remember what's after that. I think it's Nightmare, or maybe Nightmare might be the 4th. So there's 4 difficulty levels, and 2 are unlocked right at the beginning. Veterans, I would say veterans normal, and the other one is easy. And then like it gets hard, and then extra like extreme hard. And like the higher difficulty you have, the more XP you earn, the more gold you get, the higher chances of rare item drops and stuff like that. And so yeah, I just hit a wall, and since hitting level 50, I've been level 50 for like a week and a half now. I've only made it to level 50 to 53. I hit 53 yesterday. But yeah, it's like the XP is a crawl now. And I'm just like, yeah, I got to complete the campaign so I can get the increased level stuff. Sorry, I bit my lip again.
Oh,
it hurts. I have a cold. I'm getting over an ear infection, and I have a cold sore. It's driving me insane. But yeah, so Diablo 4 is my life. I love it. I have been taking breaks from it because I played the Lies of P demo.
Oh yeah.
I texted you saying I was high on it.
Oh yeah.
I still am high on it. It's really good. This is probably, well, I shouldn't say this is going to be the first like Souls-like game that I'm going to play because technically Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order were inspired by Souls-like games. But I would say Lies of P is the first like pure. This is Lies of P is a Souls-like game, but not made from Software or a Souls-like developer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, definitely.
But Lies of P, the combat feels great. It feels really good to play. Which is the same way I felt about Elden Ring. Elden Ring felt nice to play. What stopped me from really investing in Elden Ring was a lack of story.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to come at me and be like, oh, there's a story for Elden Ring. You just got to pay attention. I'm like, no. Sorry, I'm not reading fucking wikis to get the
understand
stories.
it.
Yeah, like, I don't... Tell me the story. Give me the story. Let me understand why I should care about these characters, because you don't do that. Lies of P does that like from the get-go pretty much. Like, you know, giving the characters personality, making them interesting. They actually have dialogue and stuff. The cutscenes are nice. The world looks interesting. It's like a steampunk world where robots are coming to life, and
nice.
It just felt good to play though. It was hard. It was definitely hard. I died to like the in demo boss person thing, whatever it was. Very hard to kill. But I kept going at it. I eventually defeated. I think I died like 6, 7, 8 times, somewhere around there. But I had a blast doing it. It's going to be day 1 Game Pass, so it's like
nice.
No reason not to play it when it comes out to Game Pass. You know
exactly.
So,
yeah.
Like if you have a PC or Xbox and it's worth just playing on through Game Pass, unless you just wanted to support the developers, which you should. But man, it's coming out the same month as Starfield. Granted, Starfield is at the beginning of the month. Lies of P is at the end of the month. I feel like if Starfield hits for me, I'm not going to have time to play Lies of P. You know what I mean? So because I'm just going to be so invested in Starfield. And that's if Starfield hits me. You know, it may not. It may not. We'll talk about Starfield later in the stream. And then the other game that I've been playing, and oh man, I shouldn't have done it, but I did it.
Hilarious.
Final Fantasy 16 had its demo drop, and I played it yesterday. I completed it yesterday, and I am so excited about it that I went ahead and just bought the game, even though, what was it, like a month ago, I was saying, I'm not going to play Final Fantasy. I don't give a shit about it. The demo did its job and sold me on the game. It is like a Game of Thrones-esque plot so far. People betray each other. People are talking about there were sex scenes. I'm like, it's not really sex scenes. They just kind of like kiss and then cut away. So it's like not really sexy. It's like, I mean, it's implied, I guess. But anyways,
that's hilarious.
It was good. The game feels good. The game is beautiful to look at. I'm seeing people say it's like hideous. I'm like, dude, this game looks fantastic. The big like kaiju battles between Ifrit and the Phoenix and stuff was really fun to play and like watch. It's more, I will, if it, so they take you in this, they basically open with you where you take control of a Phoenix fighting Ifrit, and then it gives the backstory of like how you got up to that point.
Gotcha.
And so this is, and also the demo is like supposed to be the first chapter act of the game. So it's like 2-3 hours long, and it covers the first chapter, and it carries over to the main game when it comes out. So I'll be jumping in right when it comes out. I'll be starting chapter 2 or whatever.
Nice.
But it opens with you're controlling a Phoenix fighting Ifrit. So it highlights like those kaiju battles right off the bat.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. It felt more like, there was like, if they're all going to be like this, then I'm a little worried about how bored I'm going to get with them, because I like the battle when they come back around to it. towards the end of the demo, I was like, okay, this is going on way too freaking long. But it's like you're trying to aim and then shoot, but it's only like 2 buttons, and then it's like quick time events and stuff. And I'm just like, this is cool. Visually, it's cool. But if this is how every battle is going to play out, this is going to get boring very fast because, that Phoenix Ifrit battle, when it comes back to it, it got boring to me where I was just like, can we just wrap this up, please? Like, I just want to, and like the aftermath is really freaking cool. Like everything that happened afterwards, I was like, oh yes, this is awesome. This is what I wanted. Cut that fucking fight in half. Like, because it was just like, this is just annoying at this point. Because like it was cool beforehand, and it started off cool, and then it was just like, okay, now it's dragging. Please just stop. Please just stop. Oh, it's cool again because it ended, and then some wild stuff happened, and and then like the plot is very much Game of Thrones. I think in like interviews they mentioned that Game of Thrones was like a inspiration, or maybe it was just like previewers saying that it was Game of Thrones like. But yeah, there's like a lot of politics at play, kings and queens and archdukes and princes betraying each other and stuff. So, and then the one thing I will say is that the naming convention for everybody's baffling. There's Clive, there's Tyler, there's Joshua. I'm just like, okay, what are we doing here? Why is the main character named Clive? It's the stupidest name. But yeah. Also, everybody's hot. I think that's standard for Final Fantasy, where everybody's just hot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Why is everybody gonna be hot? Clive is hot. Why is he hot? Why is this freaking why is the Archduke hot? Why is the Archduke's wife hot? Like everybody's hot. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Make somebody ugly, damn it. Yeah, so but the demo sold me on the game. I'm excited to play it. I don't necessarily think it's gonna like blow me away type of thing where I think it's gonna be my game of the year. But I was having a lot of fun and it made me want to play more of it.
Gotcha.
I'm interested to see where the story is going to go. And this was probably going to be the first Final Fantasy game I actually complete. I mean, I've started Final Fantasy X. I started Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I always just get bored of them and just fall off because they're long games. I'm just like, I need y'all to get to the point because like, you're right. You're just dragging this along making me go crazy now. Which is funny because Persona is a long game and I love Persona though. So whatever.
True.
But onwards to my dumb idea that I was alluding to.
Oh yeah.
So I played a game called Nexomon. You know what Nexomon is? It's a monster collecting game like Pokemon.
Okay, yeah.
And as I was playing it, I was like, I want to do this. And tell me if this is a stupid idea. If you tell me this is stupid, then I won't do it. But I was like, I want to play all these Pokemon-like games, all these monster collecting games like Nexomon, Tim. Technically, Persona falls into the category too because you're capturing monsters, but it's not a Pokemon-like game. Anyways, but like these games, like and Pal World, one of the games that we're going to talk about later on when we talk about the showcases. I'm like, all of these are monster collecting games. I want to play these and then like rank them against each other. I don't know why. I feel like that would be a fun series to do, but I also feel like I would go crazy. But I also want to try that. I don't know. I mean, like if I do it, it would be after I move to Japan and everything. Yeah. After I make that big move, because like that's my priority right now, and I want to focus on that. But like once I get settled down in Japan, I was like, this could be a fun project to do, where I just sit down and play all of these Pokemon-like games, do like a series on them, and then just talk about them.
That's hilarious.
I feel like this would go on forever though, because there's so many of them and all of them are pretty long too, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oof. It'd take you some time to do that.
Yeah, and then would I include Pokemon in it, or would it just be Pokemon-like monster collecting games and stuff like that? Like, do I include Digimon? Do I include Monster Rancher? Like, there's so many. There's like so many franchises. Do I? What is that? What was that one called? Yoki Watch or whatever? You know what I'm talking about?
Yoki Watch?
The Yukori Watch.
Yukori Watch. Don't even remember that one.
Yukori Watch show.
Yokai?
Yokai? Yeah, maybe. Is that?
Yeah, it looks like it's Yokai Watch.
Yeah, Yokai Watch.
I've never heard of this.
It's a monster. It's an anime that was that also has like a spin-off thing and stuff. And yeah, it's also a monster collecting thing. There's a couple of games. There's a couple of games for it too. They're all on 3DS, I believe, though. I'd have to hunt them down. I don't really want to do that. But yeah, they're Monster Hunter collecting games. Like, there's just so many. Dude, I don't know.
So funny.
Anyways, that was my idea. But I was playing Nexomon. Nexomon is a cute little Pokemon-like game. And yeah, that's it. I've been playing Nexomon off and on in between my Diablo and Final Fantasy and Lies of P sessions. I've also been playing Stellaris, but Stellaris, I don't really, whatever. Stellaris doesn't count. It's not a real game. I'm kidding. It's a perfect game. It is probably the most perfect game. Anyways, let's talk about the showcases. I've rambled long enough about stupid games. Let's talk about the showcases. As I said earlier, we're only going to talk about the Xbox Summer Games Fest and PlayStation Showcase because those are the three big ones. The other ones, some of them were good, some of them were not, and it just really comes down to your taste. But we're going to focus on the Summer Games Fest, Xbox Showcase, and PlayStation and all that. So, El, we're a week out from the Summer Games Fest and Xbox Showcase. How are you feeling? Are you still high on Xbox? Are you a little bit higher on Summer Game Fest? Like, where are you at now that we're a week away? We're a week out. We've digested this, and
it's so being a week out from everything and taking like more time to kind of digest everything and kind of look at everything, I'm still high off the Xbox Showcase as well as like the Starfield Direct. Like that, when I think back to it, that Starfield Direct definitely won me over. Man, I just enjoyed seeing everything that was going to be in the game, and I'm just like, I want to get my hands on that game. And so, and even a lot of the stuff that they showed off at the Xbox Showcase, Summer Games Fest, I'm still kind of like in the middle about it because it was okay. It wasn't the best. It had certain moments that I was like, okay, this game looks cool. This game looks cool. I'm interested in this one. Not many, but I thought it was all right. And then the PlayStation Showcase, I just didn't have. Even though I did enjoy some of the game that they showed off, I just did not have a good time with that. But it just seems like looking back at all the showcases, the main ones, these three that we're talking about, just Xbox hands down did it the best. Just the way that they showed off the games, didn't do much talking, and then going into the Starfield Direct, which was just like, to me, almost a perfect transition. But they did the best to me. I feel the same. I'm still high on the Xbox. I'm still I confess I've watched the Starfield Direct portion like twice. And I've rewatched the Xbox Showcase, which Xbox Showcase is the only one that I've actually rewatched against Summer Games Fest and PlayStation, because neither Summer Games Fest or PlayStation really made me want to rewatch them. There was a lot in Xbox that I was like, I want to look at this one more time and enjoy it. And I think that is where PlayStation faltered a little bit. And I've been debating about this in my brain space this week, like trying to like put into words like how I really felt about PlayStation. And I mentioned this in our post discussion with PlayStation Showcase, that PlayStation did not sell me on investing in PlayStation. You know what I mean? Like it did, I already have a PlayStation 5, so it's like it's irrelevant. But if I didn't have a PlayStation 5 and I watched that, and I watched the PlayStation Showcase from a couple weeks ago, I was just like, and I even said this to you on air, like on our live reaction, was like, well, all of these are just coming to PC. So what's the, with the exception of Spider-Man, what's the point of getting a PlayStation if I can just play it on a PC, Exactly.
Granted, Xbox also has that where pretty much everything they showed off is going to be on PC. The difference is that the Game Pass situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so like Xbox sold you, or at least sold me, on investing in the ecosystem of Xbox. Even if it didn't make me want to go buy a console, it made me go, if I invest in Game Pass, I will get to play all these freaking games. That's awesome. And that's where I think PlayStation faltered a lot, where it's like they didn't really show off too many first party games. I mean, they showed off like Marathon, which it's going to be a games as a service game by not Bethesda. What the fuck?
Bungie.
Bungie, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. It's like, it's one of the B's, one of the B names. Why is everything a B? Not the bees. Oh, sorry. Nick Cage. Woo. Love you, Nick Cage. If you're listening out there, man.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be amazing? He's just like,
That
yeah,
would be.
guys, I love you too. Jumps
Love
in
your
chat.
show.
You guys are great. But yeah, like that. I mean, that looked cool, but it was also just a CG trailer and an idea more than anything. And so like, yeah, the PlayStation just didn't sell me on anything, and then like, it did a horrible job of selling me on the VR space.
VR?
Like,
Yeah.
just like I mean, I got up and walked away because I was like, I don't give a shit about what they're showing right now, because the games did not. The game that they started with didn't interest me at all, and when I came back, the games that I saw were just whatever for VR. So like,
Yeah.
they just I don't know, like PlayStation just like dropped the ball so hard and like in getting me excited about PlayStation for the rest of the year and into next year. Spider-Man looked great. Yeah, Spider-Man looked great.
Mhm.
But what else is there really for me for the rest of the year if I want to invest in that system? Granted, I say that, but Final Fantasy 16 comes out next week, and that's exclusive to PlayStation. And
Yeah.
I bought it because I liked the demo. But it wasn't because of the gosh darn PlayStation Showcase that
True.
sold me on it.
Yeah.
So it was me actually playing the game first. So yeah.
Exactly.
And then Summer Games Fest was just, it was just, I don't want to say it was boring, but I was bored for most of it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of talking, and that's something that we kept saying was just like, get to the games. Let's just see the games, please. And Xbox, I think PlayStation had no talking. Oh, well, they had Jim Ryan come on twice, right?
Yeah, they had him come on twice, and then the little transitional light shows that they would do. So,
And then Xbox had
the
Sarah Bonds.
introduction. Yeah, and
Sarah
then
Bonds, then Phil came at the end, and then Keanu Reeves in like the middle. Which,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Keanu Reeves probably stole the show just because he looked like a gremlin at the end when he ran off, because he like just turned and walked away. It was like, it's just like, this is weird. You guys should have cut that a little bit sooner or told him to hold and then cut. But whatever. But like Summer Games Fest though, they had like a lot of cool moments. And so like I'm kind of like torn, and we're about to get into this, ranking these against each other. And so I'm torn on really where I would put Summer Games Fest versus PlayStation. I will say like a week out from Summer Games Fest, I'm a lot higher on it. I was so negative about it. I think I rated it a 1, right? Well, like a 1 out of 5.
Yeah, you did like a 1, yeah.
I would bring it up to like the level of PlayStation. I would give it a 3 because like even though I was negative on it, my initial reaction to it, I will say like the content that was there was ultimately good. Like the games they showed off, and even like the little segments of talking with Nick Cage when Nick Cage came out to introduce his role in
his
Dead
role
by
in,
Daylight. The Mortal Kombat coming out guy.
Yeah.
I should know his name, and I'm freaking forgetting.
The creator of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
Yeah. We're going to get castrated for this, for not knowing it.
How dare you?
Yeah. And then granted, I will say the Marvel Snap guy who came out, awful. Marvel Snap, that was not a good way to show Marvel Snap off. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Ed Boon, Mortal Kombat.
Ed Boon, yeah. But yeah, so before I get into my rankings, how would you rank the 3 big ones that we've just talked about?
So mine, of course, goes to Xbox number 1. I think they just did the best. They had so many appealing properties. I don't know, it just felt smoother, and it just felt like they had something to offer. Second would be for me, probably Summer Games Fest, and then PlayStation last.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm doing here is actually, hold on. You can see what I'm typing.
Yeah, I can see what you're typing.
So I've decided I'm taking executive position here. My number 1 is the Starfield Direct. I think the Starfield Direct was incredible. I think it was the Starfield Direct did what it needed to do, which is sell you on Starfield and just like get you excited for playing it. And we're going to talk more about Starfield in a little bit because there's a lot to talk about with Starfield.
Oh yeah.
But like the Starfield Direct, out of all of these things, sold you on the game. And granted, it's all I had to do was just focus on the one game. That one game, Starfield, is fucking huge. And like it was 45 minutes, right? 50 minutes.
Yeah. 45,
of just
50.
Showing us gameplay, showing us how everything works together. And then even then, I don't feel like they showed off everything. You know what I mean? Like there's still stuff that they hinted at that is to come that you will just have to experience yourself. And so I think Starfield Direct was easily the best of all of these showcases. And then it would be Xbox for me. And then it's a tie between Summer Games Fest and PlayStation for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
So like, because like Summer Games Fest, PlayStation, like neither one of them really stood out to me in any significant ways. They both had really good games, but I just felt like there was a lack. Like for Summer Games Fest, I was bored for the majority of it, and then PlayStation Showcase just didn't sell me on PlayStation. And are investing in VR, so that's really where I come down to with both of those. So that's my ranking. I put Starfield's my number one.
Hilarious.
So, yeah,
nice.
So let's dive into some games that stood out to us during the showcase. How do you want to do this? Do you want to go back and forth? I'm sure we probably have some overlap, but if we have overlap, we can jump in and say, yeah, that was on my list too.
Definitely, we can do back and forth. You want to start it off?
Yeah, I'll start it off. The first one I started with is Pal World, which was at Summer Games Fest. Pal World, it's Pokemon with guns is how it's being touted. I believe that's what was said. But yeah, Pal World just looks awesome. I think it's. I don't think it's going to be a good game. I just don't. I don't think it's going to be good at all. But I do think it's going to be at least interesting.
Oh yeah,
because again, it's Pokemon with guns. It looks like it's going to be open world. There's a lot of cute creatures. I put the trailer up. Like, look at that. Like, it
this just seems so funny.
It's so bizarre, and yet it's so bizarre, so fascinating. And you're building a farm, you're capturing monsters. These monsters have guns, murdering each other and stuff.
Oh my god!
There's just so much to it. It looks like there might be co-op in it too. I have a feeling this is going to be I have a feeling what's ultimately going to happen is that this is going to be like an MMO gotcha game, like Genshin Impact or something along those lines, where you're gonna pay a lot of money to get some of these creatures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's where the game's going to fail. It's that it's going to be you want these creatures, you have to pay $20 or something, to get it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about that. But it does. I'm interested in playing it. I'm interested in playing it because I like Pokemon, and I just want to see what this game is going to do in the monster collecting space. And this was honestly one of the reasons why I was like, this would be fun to dive into monster hunting, these monster collecting games, to review them to see how they stack up against each other.
Oh yeah,
I think they're cute. So those little sheep have guns. Like what?
Oh my gosh. Why? So funny.
But yeah, so this was my game that I don't necessarily think is going to be good. I'm just interested in seeing what's going to happen with it, and I just have a bad feeling that it's going to be a gotcha game where there's going to be transactions off the wazoo and all of that.
Yeah,
which would be a shame. Hopefully it doesn't go that direction, but I don't know. I just have that feeling. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I could definitely see that being it like that.
Yeah. Is this one of the games that you put down on your list?
No, I did not.
Damn it.
It's a game that did make me laugh, and I was like, this is hilarious, but not a game that I necessarily be like, I probably won't invest in this. Yeah. But to kind of go off from there, one game, this is of course in the Xbox realm, one game that immediately that I remember just like from everything, of course, and we talked about it, it's Clockwork Revolution. Mm-hmm. That one, man, just from the style, very steampunk, BioShock-esque type of game that I'm a sucker for, just because I love the BioShock series. It's such a fun series. And it seems so cool because I remember we talked about it on the live stream reacting to it. I was like, is this another BioShock? Because it reminded me, it has that BioShock Infinite look to it.
Yeah.
And so it kind of looks like, oh, like this is in the future. It kind of just has that appeal to it. And so when I saw this, I was like immediately hooked in, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And so this one was towards the end of it. I mean, even the name's Lady Ironwood, that's definitely something like very BioShock-esque. And so I'm interested to get more information because this is just kind of like a little small trailer for it. The robots look really cool. The steampunk esque of kind of look to it is so cool to me. And so I'm just like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Kind of maybe mess with time here just because like the decisions you make could impact what's going on. And so I'm excited for it. This is one that definitely caught my eye.
Yeah, this is one that I also have on my list that stood out to me that I'm excited to play. It's gonna In Exile, the developers already come out said that this is an RPG. Right. The trailer kind of deceives you into thinking this is going to be a first-person shooter, but In Exile did come out and say that this is going to be an RPG as RPG with character sheets and all that stuff. So prepare yourself for that, L. But yeah, I agree that this looks incredible. Like, I'm so excited to play it. It just, yeah, you sold me. It has a steampunk-esque aesthetic to it that I dig. The lightning gun there looks dope as hell. We're watching the trailer. The time management too, like reversing time to like repair things and stuff. Like, I just think it looks cool. Like, I'm excited to see what this game is going to be like when it comes out. Because if it plays like it looks, then I think this is going to be a banger of a game when it comes out. Yeah. So, but yeah, they just like the robots and stuff just look so freaking awesome. So, anyways, looks fantastic. I love it. All right, the next one on my list is let me erase some stuff. Is Alan Wake 2. Alan Wake, you know, I've said this before. Alan Wake 2, huge fan. I love Alan Wake. I love Control. I'm just so gosh darn excited about Alan Wake. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to Alan Wake. There's not much more I can say than that because like it just they showed off a gameplay trailer at Summer Games Fest. The gameplay looked awesome. Even like every like preview that's come out of Summer Games Fest has talked about how awesome it feels to play as this character, Saga. Sorry, my dog is barking like a lunatic. Come here. Demon dog. But like the gameplay looks great. And yeah, I'm ready to dive in. I'm sold. And it sucks because like Alan Wake is coming out the same month as Spider-Man. I texted you this. I might have said it on stream where it's like, there's so many games coming out in October that I'm just like, fuck, man, I just want to play.
Exactly.
Give me a second. Let me try to get my dog to stop barking.
No, definitely. This is the Alan Wake is actually going to be the next game I get into after Resident Evil 4 once I'm done with it. And so that way I can play through that, then go through Control to get prepared for Alan Wake 2. Yeah.
You also need to play Control.
Oh,
you play Control.
That's what I said. Yeah, I'll play Control after Alan Wake.
Oh, after Alan Wake. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were getting used to the controls. And
no.
I was like, why would you need to get used to controls? I'm pretty sure they're going to play different. But yeah, Control. Control is honestly better than Alan Wake. But yeah, so definitely play both. And then at the very least, I guess you have to play through Control to get to Awe, which is Alan Wake expansion. So, but yeah, I'm so excited about Alan Wake 2. This is going to be great. Like October again is packed because you have Alan Wake, you have Spider-Man. What else was there was a couple other games too that are coming out in October that I'm just like, fuck, how is anybody going to have time? October is so stacked. I mean, September is stacked before it because you have Lies of P and freaking and Starfield, and it's just like, man, 2023, too many good games. So, yeah. Was this on your list too?
Oh yeah, this is definitely on my list. Just from like watching this, like this, the gameplay of it, just from like the story behind, from what I know of Alan Wake series, I'm like, oh, this is definitely October is the perfect month for it, and so I'm just like, okay, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. What is next on your list, Elle?
So to kind of switch it up a little bit, this one actually, funny enough, came from the PlayStation Showcase. One game that I'm super excited. I know you're super excited for this because I don't think it's on your list, but the Plucky Squire. And that game looks so cool as far as like the type of gameplay you're going to get from going to a 2D format to 3D into this open world. Such a cute game. The art style is great. It looks so cool. Like I love the art style of this. It's just like, oh, this is going to be like a fun, cute game that's probably going to have like a good story, and like just everything about it just screams like, okay, we're going to go into something and just, it looks so dope.
Yeah, I agree. Like the just visual elements of it look fantastic. The gameplay looks fantastic. Like I'm excited. Like this transition right here. So again, we're watching trailers. So if you're listening to the audio podcast, go watch the video podcast so you can follow along.
Oh yeah.
But like just like the transition there, going from 2D to 3D and all this, like it just looks fantastic. Like I cannot wait to play this. But it is high on my list of games to play this year. I don't know if Plucky Squire got a release date at the end of this trailer.
Yeah,
it just says 2023. So
yeah, that's what it says. Yeah.
So it'll come out. Hopefully, it's gonna be October. It's more games to play in October. Be November, be December. In the year with Plucky Squire. But yeah, I actually totally forgot to put Plucky Squire on there. So that was my bad. The next game on my list is Sonic Superstars.
Whoa, interesting. Okay.
I've never been a Sonic person at all, like ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Sonic's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Sonic's cool. He eats chili dogs, right? I guess the chili dogs things is only in like the cartoon, right? That was like a cartoon thing.
Yeah, I think it was a cartoon thing. He really loved chili dogs, if I remember correctly.
But yeah, like I am excited about Summer Superstars because like just like the visual look going from the old style to this new style looks it looks beautiful. Like it just looks fantastic. But yeah, I've never really played a Sonic game. I've been interested in Sonic, but I've never really just sat down, completed it, played one. I think I've like done like a couple levels here and there of like the 2D one or the original ones and stuff like that. I am curious about Sonic Frontiers,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till Sonic Frontiers is like, on sale on like Steam or something before I invest in it because like I don't think I'm gonna actually enjoy it. But yeah, but this looks beautiful, like the 2D and all of that. Like the co-op looks awesome. Granted, the co-op though is only on the same screen. It's a shared screen. They don't have any online play, so it's like that's a little weird. But I'm hoping like through like Steam Share, Steam, like where we could, I could like if I buy Sonic Superstars on like Steam, I could share the game with you, and then we could play together that way. I can't remember what it's called, but like we could do something like that. But like, yeah, I'm excited to try Sonic Superstars out. Like this could be the first Sonic game that I actually play and complete. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, it's just like this, the visual style looks fantastic for it. So, but yeah, that was on my list.
Nice. That's so cool. Yeah, it's cool that they're giving it the almost like the remake feel to it and reintroducing Sonic into today's generations. Yeah. So the next one on my list, I don't think you have this one, but I don't know if this game will be good, but I was sucked into it because of the trailer of how spooky it was. This is from the Xbox showcase, but Still Wakes the Deep.
Yeah,
and that's like, it seems like a very spooky type of game about being on a oil rig out in the sea. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, I'm a sucker for it just because it seems so suspenseful, and I'm interested to see to get more information about it, just see what it's about. Because I'm assuming, could be wrong, but it looks like it's going to be a first person type of game where you're kind of like going around trying to solve a mystery or trying to defeat this monster, whatever it is. And so anything with the ocean and just being out there and you're stuck on something, I'm like a sucker for. I'm just like, oh, this is scary. And so it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks like your traditional like horror walking simulator, like Outlast or Amnesia or something like that. You know, watch. It's all just gonna be in your head though. Like,
that's so funny.
There's gonna be nothing spooky about it. It's not gonna actually be. The thing that's gonna be spooky is like the fact that it's the oil rig is failing. And that's all it is. There's no supernatural elements happening. But yeah, I will say it looks cool. If did it say day one Game Pass or anything? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it said Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll play it, but that's about it. Like I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like Outlast or Amnesia or anything like that. So like,
yeah, I get that.
It doesn't really do anything for me, but I am interested, and I'm especially if like I see reviews that saying it's great or something. I think it's going to be one of those middle of the road things where it's going to get like 7s. But,
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. It does look cool though. It does have that spooky element to it. You gotta let me know how it is when you play it, and then I can laugh at you when you scream like a. I'm kidding. The next game I want to talk about is Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat looked fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I said this on during the stream of Summer Games. So I was like, they should have started with this.
I know.
Like,
yeah.
It's like because they started with the Prince of Persia game, which don't get me wrong, the Prince of Persia looked fantastic, but they should have started with the Mortal Kombat stuff because the Mortal Kombat stuff looks fantastic. And I'm if there's going to be a fighting game I play this year, it's going to be Mortal Kombat because like I just love the story elements of Mortal Kombat more than like Street Fighter or anything like that. So
yeah.
But yeah, Mortal Kombat looks fantastic. They showed off a bunch of fatalities as well that looked great.
Yeah.
So and then I'm just hyped for it. Like again, I don't really care for fighting games too much, but I've always loved the lore of Mortal Kombat. So
exactly, and then I think this is going to be cool just because they're restarting it technically, and like to go through like the campaign or the story mode. I think it's going to be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I love it because they're basically just starting over, and can't wait.
Yeah, looks great. Look, just everything about it. It's beautiful to look at. The news out of it is that it plays great. Like these little like team squad things that you have, it feels good and organic. With the characters, like just look at that. It's fantastic. Fatalities look fantastic. These double team fatalities.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's supposed to be Johnny Cage, right?
Yeah, that's Johnny Cage. Yeah, basically, yeah, Johnny Cage, and I want to say Kenji or Kenshi's one. He's a telekinetic ninja.
Yeah.
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang coming there as the fire god, breaking him up. How's Johnny Cage? How's he still alive after they like busted his skull? No, I'm kidding.
It's Mortal Kombat.
Nothing in Mortal Kombat makes sense.
I know. Someone could die and then they just come back later.
I like it. So we're watching the trailer. I like how that guy that just came on the screen just like he came in, hit him, and then like ran off to the other side of the screen. It was very awkward. So some of them look cool. That one did not look cool. He just came in, punched him, and then ran off to the side of the screen. It looked weird. But
hilarious.
Yeah, I do think Mortal Kombat's going to be cool though. I think it's going to I think it's going to be received well. I don't necessarily think it's going to reach like the 9s and 10s that Street Fighter got.
Oh yeah,
but I think it's going to be like a solid 8.5.
I could see
9,
that. Yeah,
but I don't necessarily think it's going to get like 10s and stuff like that. But maybe it will. Maybe we'll have 2 fantastic fighting games. Look at that! Oh god, disgusting. So that'd be great. You know, fighting game community gets 2 fantastic fighting games in 1 year.
Oh yeah.
How often does that happen? I'm not in the fighting game community, so I have no idea. But
not sure at all. Interesting. So going from that, because that Mortal Kombat was definitely on my list. That was definitely one of the games that stood out to me. Another game for me that came from Xbox that I was interested in just because I wasn't familiar with it. Avowed was it looked really interesting from the trailer of it. I'm not too sure. Is that Avowed's an older property, isn't it, or is it a new one?
No, Avowed is completely new property from Obsidian.
Gotcha.
This was what they been working on for a while now since they finished up.
That's right.
Since they finished up, what was that game called? Outer Worlds.
Gotcha.
So,
but Avowed, just everything that they showed off here from the gameplay, I was like, okay, this is definitely another first-person type of game that like you have powers and you can move around, and I guess I'm just like a sucker for these first person games that you're kind of like going through the story. And so something you just work your way from A to B and you go through. Cause I remember when we first watched it, I was like, is this Assassin's Creed? Cause it kind of looked like it.
Very Assassin's Creed look to it. Yeah.
But no, definitely you got the sea creature here guy, amphibious thing, but it looked so cool. Just like the worlds were interesting. And I'm like, okay, let's see what else is going on here with the powers and like just how it's going to work. And, it looked cool for me.
Yeah, that was on my list too. I'm excited. I'm excited with anything that Obsidian does, though. Like,
oh yeah,
there's you want to talk about like being a fanboy for games and stuff. Like Obsidian, Bethesda, and BioWare, the 3 Bs.
Oh yeah,
I'm like any 3 of those. Like they're all like Western RPG companies, like Mass Effect from BioWare, Elder Scrolls and Fallout from Bethesda, and then Obsidian has made some incredible RPGs that kind of go under the radar. I mean, they made South Park Stick of Truth. They had Outer Worlds, which I think Outer Worlds is probably the biggest one they've done. They had in my opinion, a wonderful RPG called Alpha Protocol that I would love to see come back. I don't know if I remember playing it when I lived in the dorms with you. Alpha Protocol. I don't know if you remember me playing that.
I do remember that.
I was like obsessed with Alpha Protocol for a while. But like I want to see that get brought back. That would be amazing. Because I thought it was great. It's like a spy RPG, whatever. But like, yeah, I love anything by Obsidian pretty much. Even their top-down games that they have, like Pillars of Eternity and Tyrants. I think they had something else I want to say, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But yeah, Obsidian though, I love Obsidian games. I mean, not the biggest fan of Grounded, which is their ongoing game that they made. But I don't know, like Obsidian, fantastic studio, and I'm looking forward to playing Avowed myself. So, and it definitely has, if you, because I know you're a fan of Outer Worlds. Yeah, I think you'll like Avowed a lot because they have a very distinct style and humor to their games. Yeah, that kind of translates pretty much through all of their games. So,
exactly, yeah. Nice.
That was also on my list. Let me take it away. Eliminating my list as we talk. Next on my list is Spider-Man 2. I don't really have much to say about Spider-Man 2 other than I just want to play it. I am like I keep mentioning this. I'm like torn on what I'm gonna play. I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of time to play Spider-Man 2 and Alan Wake 2, and I'm leaning heavily to Spider-Man 2 or Alan Wake 2 more than Spider-Man 2. Like I like Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but man, Alan Wake just looks so fucking good. Because like I kind of know what to expect from the Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Alan Wake, I don't really know what to expect from, but I am going to play Spider-Man 2 at some point. I just don't think it's going to be at launch. But regardless, Spider-Man 2 looks fantastic. The long gameplay trailer, if you played Spider-Man 1, this very much looks like just like an enhancement or an extension of what you did in Spider-Man 1. So yeah. But yeah, and like this time you can play both as Miles Morales and Peter Parker. And so
cool.
But yeah, like it just looks great. I am looking forward to get more. I'm looking forward to get more of Miles Morales' story because I just like Miles more than I like Peter as Spider-Man, which is probably blasphemy, but whatever. I just like Miles more. I think he's a more interesting person and character.
Yeah, definitely.
But so it's going to be nice to being able to switch and get the perspective of like that feel because I will say like they have very different like power sets. When you think Spider-Man, you think flip, but no, like. Miles has like electricity that he can use and stuff, and it looks like later on in the trailer, it looks like you're gonna get earlier in the trailer, Peter has the Venom symbiote on him, right? So so he has like the Venom symbiote like powers and stuff like that. So it's just gonna be interesting to see how like different Miles is gonna play from Peter and all of that. So I'm looking forward to it.
No, definitely. It's going to be interesting because, of course, I know because I was like a big Spider-Man fan growing up and watching the animated series. And like the symbiote's always something that he's kind of struggled with. So it's interesting to how they're going to play because Peter kind of, gets that ego and the not so
he gets the
heroic
emo phase.
The emo phase. Exactly. And he's no, you're fine. And he's not much of a nice guy when he's in the symbiote. He's more like brutal, and so it's going to be interesting. Maybe they'll pit Miles against Peter, and you'll have to fight him a little bit when he kind of just loses his cool or something.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing like what they do with how they do it because they did mention the Insomniac developers did mention that Venom is not going to be connected to Eddie Brock, which upset people because Eddie Brock is like the one that's Venom, often associated with Venom and stuff. But it'll be interesting to see like their take in this world of Spider-Man because I'm looking forward to it. And it just looks good. But again, it's so hard. October is such a hard month. Such a hard month. So.
Very, very tough month. So because that was definitely also on my list. Another one of mine that I enjoyed a lot, and we've actually talked about this. You've played the demo, Lies of P, excuse me.
Lies of P.
Liza P, which is another game like we said before. It's like a Souls-like game. It is very difficult, but man, the aesthetic of the game looks really cool. I'm enjoying it. Even getting more details about the game. There's like portions of the game that I've read and done research on that's saying that as you play along the game, you can help out people on side quests and stuff like that. And then you can decide whether or not to tell them the truth about something.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because like Pinocchio, whether you tell the truth or you lie to them will dictate whether or not towards the end of the game you become more like a real human boy or you become like a wooden figure like Pinocchio. And so I'm like, oh, that's so cool, because now you get to decide, like, is it better to lie to these people to, one, save face and help, like, not kind of like break them of their reality, as so to speak, or do you just want to be honest with them up front? And so it's going to be interesting to like the decisions that you can make with it, and just that whole world,
Yeah, I agree. It's Liza P's looking great. It's going to be day one Game Pass, so it'll easy option to play it. You get to the end of September and like, I want to play something that's not Starfield. Liza P. And then a couple weeks later, it's Alan Wake and Spider-Man. So,
yeah.
So yeah, it's God, man, too many games.
Too many games.
But next game on my list is Helldivers 2.
Yes.
Helldivers 2. We've talked about this at length, so we don't really need to go too much into this, but very much a Starship Trooper humor. But it looks fantastic. I'm excited to play it.
Oh yeah.
That's all I can say. Like, we've talked about this enough at this point, but I'm looking forward to playing it. I want to play it with you, like if we get a chance and stuff. Because it just looks great. Man,
this game looks so fun. I can't wait to. This is definitely one of those games that like I could see us enjoying playing together, or even with our other friends like Dove and Blitz, and just going to kill some bugs. I mean, it's like so cool. Yeah. And so just even like from the trailer that we're watching here, just like the worlds that they're on, it's like interesting to kind of like building a base, having to defend it, and everything looks cool about it.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. Flamethrower guy, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very much a Starship Trooper escape. Starship Trooper suit. No, I'm kidding. They're hugging. I didn't see that before. But yeah, game looks great. So I don't really have much more to say beyond that. Gonna play the hell out of it when it comes out. So.
Oh yeah. So another game of mine, kind of like staying in that multiplayer lane that I am amazed at, and I'm hoping that it's fun to play. This is also on your list, 33 Immortals.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's so cool because I don't know if any other game has done this, but basically you can play with 33 people. And so,
I mean, you got like Battlefield, you got like team for team v team, but like this is going to be like the first big co-op-esque game.
Exactly.
Where it's not everybody's fighting for the same goal.
Exactly. So. And that's like so interesting to me. Now, granted, I don't think I have 33 people that I can play with, but still, or 32 other people.
I have you and Little Dove and Blitz. That's all I have. I don't have anybody else.
Oh yeah, but this game just looks fun, and I'm like, oh, this is definitely kind of like on that same idea of Helldivers 2 being like fun to play with friends. This is another game that like you can just sit back, have fun, beat them up, just like go through the levels and see how that goes.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking forward to the potential of what this game is going to be like. Combat looks like Hades-esque. And I love Hades, so yeah, this game looks great. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I wonder if there's going to be like a difficulty curve, like, do you need to have 33 people to complete a mission or something like that, or can you get away with just having 2 or 3 people working together?
3, yeah.
If you need 33, then that's fucked up.
That's crazy. I know.
But either way, I'm looking forward to it. Like it looks great. Like these like, there's almost like an old school cartoony graphics, you know what I mean, to it. That like I'm just like, this looks cool.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know why they're doing what they got to do. But hey, I'm interested in finding out. So
exactly, agreed.
Yeah. Next up on my list is South of Midnight. South of Midnight was the like Bayou New Orleans style trailer.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it just looks fantastic. And at least the premise of it looks fantastic. Obviously, all we really got was like a cinematic It says in-game footage, so we can easily assume that this is what the game is going to at least try to look like. There's a very like Tim Burton-esque is what I called it, how I described it, a Tim Burton-esque style look to it. But like, yeah, the what this trailer showed made me interested in what the story could possibly be, like what's going on in this world. And so, yeah, like I dig the style, and I'm interested in seeing where it's going to go with this. So, it was very interesting.
Definitely. And so, yeah, I'm ready to see like gameplay for it. But yeah, it has a cool aesthetic to it, like you said, with the Louisiana swamps and just like cool aesthetic to it. So,
yeah,
I agree. Nice. So another one of mine, and I think we both enjoyed this one a lot. This is from the Xbox showcase for Jasant.
Oh yeah,
Jasant was.
Damn it! That's something else I played. I played the demo for it.
Oh, did you? Oh yeah, that's right. I think you told. I don't know if you told me that.
Yeah, I think I might have texted you. Maybe.
Okay. And so the art style for that is like so cool. It's basically like your climbing game. I'm not too sure exactly. The game is about getting somewhere, but like what the message is behind it. But I just like the art style a lot, and it seems very much like a game to kind of like take in the scenery, maybe take in some sort of message or something to that effect, and it looks cool.
Yeah. So played the demo. I absolutely hated the demo.
Oh no!
The controls were awkward as hell. Like trying to climb and stuff, they just didn't feel good. It just didn't feel good to play. And maybe that's just my limitations, because like you have to. So can't play it with mouse and keyboard. Impossible.
Okay.
But like you have to like do like right trigger to move your right arm, left trigger to move your left arm, and like you have to move them in tandem and stuff. And it was just I found it annoying more than anything. Like visually, I think it looks great. Little dude on the back, the trailer, adorable as all hell. And like there was like you basically, so the demo basically in the trailer you saw that little like tower here in the trailer that he looked up at. So the demo basically is you climbing up to that point. And but there's like little like notes that you can pick up and read about the world and what's going on and stuff. It is interesting. I'm interested in the world, but man, the gameplay just didn't feel good to me. And I was just like, oof, this is kind of more cumbersome than it needs to be.
Hilarious.
Like the little tether that you have there. It's just annoying. Like, yeah, you put the tether down to like climb and stuff, and then you have to hold down B to bring it back. And if you run too far away from it, it starts pulling you back. Like it just doesn't like disconnect on its own. It feels like it should disconnect on its own type thing. Because you're going to be holding down B a lot on your controller to disconnect. And it's like, it's just, there's like a little annoying things like that bugged me when I was playing the trailer. And maybe like there's an upgrade where it disconnects automatically. I don't know.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I just wasn't vibing with it. At the end of the day, it's going to be on Game Pass. So, you're not going to lose anything if you play it. So unless you're subscribing to Game Pass only for this, then you lose $10. But you should be playing like Starfield or something. Or any other games that are coming. Liza P. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just was not, after playing the demo, that's why I didn't have it on my list, because I was just like,
okay.
So, but maybe you'll like it. I don't know. Try the demos on Steam. So
definitely
give it a try.
Nice.
Next up on my list, and this is kind of a cheat, Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars was in the extended showcase, which Xbox did an extended showcase on Tuesday. And yeah, it looks great. The reason I put it on the list is because at the extended showcase, it was announced that it's going to be day one Game Pass. So
cool.
Which was a surprise.
Yeah, definitely.
Because most of the marketing stuff I've only seen it associated with PlayStation. Like I didn't really see it associated with Xbox. Or am I going crazy? Was it because it appeared? It premiered at a PlayStation showcase, like at the beginning of the year, right? Or last year or something.
So, if I remember correctly, yeah, I think so.
Maybe I don't know, but yeah, like it's coming to day one Game Pass. They announced that on this past week, so it's like that's why I put it on the list. Because again, Xbox is doing a fantastic job of selling me on Game Pass, and this is one of the reasons because Sea of Stars looks great. So,
oh yeah, that looks so. Man, that art style is so cool. Just like watching the battles and the world. Man, it like I'm excited to play this. This is something that I've talked to you about, where I'm just like, it needs to come out already, and so I'm just like, I'm ready to play this.
It's coming out in September, I want to say. I don't think there's
another Starfield, Sea of Stars, all these games.
Yeah, Sea of Stars release date. I can't remember the exact date. August 29th. It's coming out. So basically September. Why not? It's a couple days out.
So many games.
Yeah.
At least it's coming on Game Pass, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So
nice. So I can't wait for that. And that is cool though. Mm-hmm. So the last game here that I'm going to say that caught my attention. This was actually at the PlayStation Showcase, and this is one that we both talked about because the art style looked amazing. Was Sword of the Sea. That's another one. You're just some guy on a sword and you're surfing the sea, like in the islands or wherever you're.
The sand.
The sand.
Was it sand? Right? Was it waves? Yeah.
There are certain times where there are sand waves, but but it looks exactly. It looks so cool. Just like it's the same creators of Journey, same creators of
That's the same artist. It's the same artist. Sorry,
artist. Yeah. Same artist of Journey, which has such cool vibes to it. And this is another one that's like, I'm like, oh, I wonder. It's going to be, if you love Journey, then I think you're going to love this game, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. Visually, it looks fantastic. This was definitely the standout for PlayStation for me. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
I don't have much more to say than that.
No, you're good.
The final game on my list, and I'm excited about it because I'm a big old freaking Star Wars nerd. And this was also, I sat through the abysmal Ubisoft Forward to see the gameplay footage. Gameplay looks fantastic for Star Wars Outlaws. They showed the trailer for it at the Xbox Showcase and then did a deep dive onto the gameplay. And the gameplay just looks fantastic. Like it's very much like Uncharted or something like that. It just looks great. Like the little creature that follows you around is adorable as all hell. And yeah, I'm excited to just dive into Star Wars Outlaws. This again, anything Star Wars, I'm sold on pretty much unless it sucks. And then, but I'm so even if it sucks, I'll play it anyways because I'm a weirdo, or I'll watch it because I'm a weirdo. I sat through fucking Resistance, and Resistance is god awful. So it's an animated show, anyways. But yeah, the gameplay for this looks great. Has a very much like Uncharted, almost Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order look to it. So like they definitely have a unifying factor with like the visual elements of Jedi Survivor and Star Wars Outlaws. So, which I mean, it's all Star Wars, so it makes sense. But you know, sometimes since they're two different developers, they could have easily gone in like visually different styles and stuff. But yeah, this looks like Star Wars. It sounds like Star Wars. And I'm just excited to see more of it. Like later on, there's like a full-on conversation on a table and stuff, and like it just looks great. So
cool.
I'm incredibly excited. I love Star Wars. Star Wars is great.
Nice. Nice.
So that is our wrap up of the showcases. We went on a lot longer than I was expecting. Part of it's my fault because I've rambled on about crap
no worries.
That doesn't matter like the PAL world. But let's actually get to the conversation that I've titled this episode, but we haven't got to it. It's Starfield.
Yeah.
Is Starfield going to be a banger, El? What are your thoughts? Go.
Oh, so if the Starfield Direct is anything, or excuse me, if the game is anything, or is exactly described as the Starfield Direct described and showed off, I definitely think it will be a banger. Now, as far as where does that Starfield land amongst the rest of the bangers that have come out this year, that's a question I don't know yet. I think that it's going to be interesting. I think it will match up, and it will be one of the titans of the year, so to speak. That that I think is going to captivate people. I'm excited. I don't want to just say wholeheartedly that I think this is going to be game of the year because with all the delays that they had, with all the with Xbox, with everything that went wrong with Redfall, it's like I hope that they put in as much effort to make sure that this does not happen with Starfield, especially with it coming out here in September. It's just like I want it to succeed. Like I want this to be like a great game, because this game is gonna go on for a very long time, and so hopefully, and so I think that it will be a banger, and I'm standing by that. Now, like I said, to that second question, where does it land? Is it game of the year? I'm not too sure. We'll just have to wait and see when we play it. But I think it will be a great game.
I agree. I think it's gonna. The Direct did a good job of showcasing like what it's trying to do. And if it does even if it doesn't fully do everything that that they showed off in the trailer or in the Direct, if it even does like 75% of it, it's still going to be a banger. Like just like there's so much going into Starfield that it's like it's hard to look at that game and go, no, that game's going to be bad. Now, what would make it a bad game if it comes out and it's like a Cyberpunk release situation where the game's buggy as hell, unplayable? Now that will stop it from being a banger. I think, and if that happens, I do think Bethesda will take the time to fix it and everything, and then like 10 years down the road, we're gonna get the 10-year anniversary of Starfield like they do with fucking Skyrim. But like I think Starfield's gonna come out, and I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think it's gonna be a banger. I think it'll be out there in the conversation for Game of the Year. I don't necessarily know if it's going to get Game of the Year because, like, Zelda, obviously the most beloved game ever. But like, I feel like Starfield could give a run for its money if it does come out and it does hit and it does everything that Todd Howard and the team talked about in the Direct. Like, it has the potential to really set the world on fire, and it's going to be interesting to see. Like, because there's so many bangers of games that came out this year. So far, because we have Resident Evil 4 remake, we had Dead Space, we had Zelda, we had other games that I can't think of off the top of my head right now. We have Final Fantasy next week, and then we have Alan Wake 2 in October. We have Spider-Man 2 in October. It's like so many freaking awesome games. It's like insane to think about. So Starfield definitely does have the potential, though. Like, I'm excited to see. I trust Bethesda, for better or worse. Granted, I said that I trust Arcane, and look what happened to Redfall. Listen, I stand by this. Redfall, give it 4 hours. You'll love it.
4 hours.
4 hours later, you'll love it. If you don't love it, keep playing another 4 hours, and you'll eventually
hilarious.
Force yourself to love it like I did. Damn it. Don't do that. I've uninstalled Redfall, and I'm never going to go back to it probably, unless they like come out and is like, we fixed everything.
Exactly.
There's like fundamental gameplay things that I don't think can be fixed, but yeah. But yeah, I'm excited about Starfield. I think it's going to be great. This is a simple conversation here. It's going to be a banger.
No,
I don't think. Again, unless it's a Cyberpunk situation where it launches and it's a buggy mess and impossible to play. That's the only way I see it not being a banger.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think when it comes out, it'll probably still have like just a couple bugs, but it can't be something to the level of what Cyberpunk was when it first came out. That's the thing that has to not happen for it to be like that. And because I'm pretty sure people are okay if the experience, if occasionally something wonky happens, but it can't be like 80-90% of the gameplay. Exactly. Because then people are like, well, I can't even play this game. And so
I take one step and I fall through the freaking world and I'm in space. What the fuck?
Exactly. And so I think that it will be good because, like, man, I want it to be good just because, like I said, everything from the Starfield Direct that they've shown off, I'm just like, I like it and I want to play it.
Yeah, I agree. There was something else I was going to say and I forgot. Damn. Not important. Obviously not important. Final question for Starfield, because this is news that broke this week and people have been talking about it, complaining about it. Some people say it doesn't matter. Some people say it does matter. Starfield is capped at 30 FPS on Xbox Series X and S. Does that matter at all? Ell, what do you think?
This is something that, like, sometimes I guess, like, I don't see how much of an importance it has on a game, really, if it does any at all. But I mean, I can tell the difference. I've noticed, of course, with playing PC, when I first built this PC, I started to notice like, oh, I see the smoothness that you might see. But I think for this game, I don't think it's going to be as important personally. Yeah. I think this might be one of those things that people kind of get caught in the hype of, and then they hear people who maybe have a little bit more knowledge of it or kind of play certain types of games, and they might hear them say, this is horrible, this is bad, and they themselves might not realize that certain games that they play might be capped at certain frame rates. And like, sure, it might not be as smooth, but I think that with it being capped at 30 frames per second, it's going to make the game a lot better to be able to play, if that makes sense. Yeah. Instead of making the system do so many things and then it ends up being wonky and stuff. And so who knows? I think personally, I don't think this is going to matter, but also understand I'm speaking from someone who has a PC and, like I'm speaking from a place of privilege, and I'm just like, well, I'm going to play it whatever, of course, I'm not just going to play an ultra high graphic, version of it. I'm just going to try to play something that'll allow me to be able to play this game without too many hiccups.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm similar. I'm going to play this on PC. So like, I'm kind of indifferent towards this. Now I do have an Xbox Series S. I do have one. So maybe I'll give it a test run there. But like for me, I personally, with everything that all the systems that have been shown off, like every single aspect of the game that's been showed off, I think it makes sense that it's capped at 30 FPS. Yeah. Because I'm like, there's a lot of shit happening. A lot of shit, a lot of systems running, whether it's just like, a character fighting or like through dialogue and stuff. Like there's so many things that have to be tied together to make it work. So I don't know, like it doesn't bother me at all. Most games, like unless it's like a competitive shooter game like Overwatch, frames never really bugged me. Like I'll notice it, but I'm like, well, is it really ruining my experience? Is it so bad that it's ruining my experience? One thing that's worth noting too is that, like, I believe it was Todd Howard, I'd have to find the article for this, said that the reason they capped it was to offer the best experience possible, because they were like, we could up it, but we could up the frame rate, but it fluctuate. Where if we cap it at 30, it gives you the smooth experience like you were talking about, where it's just a smooth experience. It's not fluctuating. It's like a steady 30 FPS, which I think is better than, doing like being at 60 and then but it dipping down to like 30 or 40 or something like that, you know what I mean? Because that's when it's noticeable, like when you have sudden drops like that in FPS. When you notice those sudden frame drops like that, that's when you go, oh shit, this is not good. When it's a consistent frame rate, you don't really notice it. I mean, you might if you have your eyes trained to that and stuff, like if you're used to 60 or 120 or higher than 120. But even then, like, films are still filmed at 24, right? So
24. Yeah, so exactly.
Like, whatever, guys. Stop complaining.
I think it'll be okay. And I think you mentioned this either through text or I'm not too sure if you messaged me about it. I mean, Zelda is capped at like
30 FPS as well.
30 FPS, and people love it, and people don't. I think I might have heard maybe like one or two, but not a majority, but really just a couple people were like, oh, it's only 30 frames per second. The Switch, is not a great system for da-da-da. But people still love that game. It's literally in contention for Game of the Year. Yeah. And so
I will say this about Zelda too, like Zelda dips down to like 1520, because I've been in situations in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom where like so much is happening, things are exploding, creatures swinging, like my frames just drop, and it's noticeable. But then it doesn't ruin the game overall for me. It's just like, oof, this is chugging along right now. And maybe it could also just be like I have a launch Switch, so it's. Maybe it's my hardware too. I don't know, but like there are moments where it's not consistently 30 FPS. So
but I think, I mean, even with that, I think this game, if it's capped at, because it'll be capped at 30, I think this will just make it smoother. I think this is something that people just mentioned to kind of grab headlines, and then once the game comes out, if everything else runs smooth, you're literally, I think people would just get adjusted, and then they'll forget about it and even forget that it's at 30 frames, and they'll just be like, whoa, like I'm enjoying the story, I'm enjoying, you know, the action, the combat, or I'm enjoying everything else, and I'm enjoying going through space and everything's so smooth. You know, people will I think will enjoy it much more and just forget about the frame rate that it's capped at.
Yeah. I'm also interested in like what the statistics are going to be for like how many people are playing it on PC versus the Xbox systems. Like, I feel like Starfield would be a game that would do way better on PC, like just like consumer wise. I don't know. And then I'm also curious to see what the stats are going to be for like Game Pass versus pre-orders and all that stuff. Like, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to pre-order it as soon as I can because I want the bonuses and I want the early access. So if I have funds to spare after I move to Japan, I'm not going to do it now. But like, if I have the funds to spare, I'm going to pre-order it and all that.
You can buy the watch that we talked about. I looked it up. It's $300.
I'm not doing that. I'm just going to get I'm going to get the digital premium edition, $100, because that's what I can afford. I can't afford $300. I thought about it. Can't do it.
I thought about it for a second and I was like, no.
But yeah, like, I'm interested in seeing what the stats are going to be for that. I am like, if I do pre-order it, if I am able to pre-order it, I am going to buy it through the Microsoft Store so I can get it both on PC and Xbox.
Okay.
Because like they like most Microsoft games, you can do that with. Like, if you buy it on PC, you'll still be able to play it on Xbox if you get it through the Xbox Store or whatever it's called.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to do that way so I can see, like, is it going to be something that I feel like if I play it on the Series S and then hop onto PC, if it's like a super jarring thing, then yeah, my PC. I'm going to stick to PC, but am interested in testing it out on the S. I don't necessarily think that's going to be my prime way of playing it, just because like my PC can run it just fine at like 60. I'm assuming beyond 60 frames per second.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is what people are like, it needs to run at 60 FPS. Blah blah blah. Which I understand. Like, people are like, well, that's what the Xbox promised. It said all games are going to be 60 FPS or whatever. And it's like, yeah, whatever. If you thought that was going to be the case, you're a fool. A fool. I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm
nice.
I don't think it's going to matter at the end of the day. I think the only way it's going to matter is if this game is a buggy mess, because then it's going to be a buggy mess on top of the 30 FPS controversy.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So which is similar to what happened with Redfall. You know, where it was a buggy mess and it was running like garbage, like hot doo doo. So it's like that would be a shame that that's what happens to Starfield. You know, where it's a buggy mess. There's not a lot of content, and it's at 30 FPS on console. Oof, that'll be the bad thing. But if the game comes out and it's good, nobody's going to ultimately care at the end of the day. And honestly, I'm interested in seeing how many people actually care, because it's one of those things where you're in an echo chamber on like Twitch or Reddit or something where people are just complaining, and it's like, well, what's the average person who's just casually interested in Starfield because they like Bethesda games, because they like Skyrim, because they like Fallout? Like, they don't pay attention to the online discourse. They just go, oh yeah, Starfield. That's the game that was created by, that's from the creators of Elder Scrolls, the creators of Fallout. I'm going to play it. Like, fuck yeah. Because it's just another, it's like Skyrim. It's like Fallout. I'm going to play it.
Yep.
So like, I'm interested in like knowing how many people are actually ultimately going to care. Or I doubt we'll ever get that sort of statistic. I think we're always going to have like the online, always have like the online voices like ours, where it's just like, they either care or don't care, and it's like that. Yeah.
Agreed.
It'll be interesting. I think Starfield is going to be a banger, though. It's hard for me to imagine that it's not going to be.
Yeah, I agree. Makes sense.
Because it just looks fantastic, and I can't wait to play. I'm sold. The Direct did its job and sold me on the game, and now I just want to play it.
Very true. Agreed.
All right, Al, any final thoughts about the showcases, any of the games that we've talked about, Starfield?
I only have one thing to say, and one thing only.
What?
Just show the games.
Just show the games.
Just show the games. That's all the consumers. I think just show the games, and then you can still do your developer talk, but do them after the fact. Yeah. You know, just show us the games, and I think that'll make everything better.
Yeah, I agree.
Other than that, sorry, one more thing, actually.
Great game. God.
Great year for video games. Amazing year for video games.
Oh, yeah. It is easily the best year in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
because it's, again, there feels like there's a game every month that's just a banger. So,
yep. Agreed.
And then we're going to get like 20 in 2 months.
Oh boy.
So it's like
have no time.
September and October. There's so many damn good games. What's coming out in November? This is where Plucky Squire can win the game of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Because it comes out in November and
with nobody else around.
Yeah. Game of the year, Plucky Squire, right there. Mark my
Hilarious.
words.
They just sneak in at the end of the year.
Steal everything, yeah. I thought it almost sounded like your dog went.
No.
She get hyped for Plucky Squire too.
She's excited to play it, exactly. But yeah,
wind us down.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Respawn Please podcast. You can catch us live every Friday, like today, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, or capture the edited version of the podcast, video version on our YouTube at Respawn Please podcast, which goes live every Monday at 9 a.m., as well as the audio version of it, which is available everywhere you can get podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday where we do Respawn Plays. We just pick a video game. Same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, or excuse me, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then make sure to follow us on our social medias, which is Instagram and TikTok at Respawn Please Podcast, and where we post clips and information and stuff like that.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Let us know how you felt about
the
showcase.
Drop a comment below.
Yeah, let us know how you felt. Are you excited about Starfield? If you're not, you're a fool. I'm kidding. You're right there. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining us. We will be back on Wednesday. What are we going to play on Wednesday? Portal? Are we going to finally play Portal 2?
Finally play Portal 2.
You son of a bitch. You keep running away from me. Is it because you think I'm going to go crazy in Portal 2?
No.
Because you would be fucking right, motherfucker. Have a good day, y'all. Have a good weekend.
Bye.